my experience in teaching it's been cool, and I have been teaching around 16 years. I started teaching when I was pretty young. It was a very nice experience since then. And today, Adel asked me if I could help him with some questions. So I'm really glad to help. So go ahead, Adel.
Okay, Mary, what do you think about the implementation of the action-oriented approach?
Well, in my opinion, this approach it's really good because it let us make our classes like in the real context. So it is not teaching isolated words or vocabulary anymore. And now we have a set of scenarios for you to teach. So the student will be learning easier. And of course, it is easy to remember some situations when you feel that you are living in. So, in my opinion, it's really good.
Okay, excellent. What is your opinion in regards to the implemented approach?
Well, I love my experience. I've been working with conversational workshops. So, this approach is used in typical English, and it's also good because this one it's focused pretty much on conversation. So it's really good. However, I'm gonna be honest. I use a little bit of whatever I need, whatever I think can fit better with the students. So even though I plan based on communicative approach in conversational, sometimes I use another information from another approach.
Okay, very good. What methodologies did you implement in the classroom?
Well, for me, in my class, my students are the actors and actresses. So I just give instructions. So basically, the students are the ones that are talking most of the times. Because for me, it's kind of boring just being more than an hour or so listening to the teacher just talking. So for me, it's kind of boring, and I am convinced that in order to learn, the student have to practice, and this is the only chance that they have to practice most of the times.
Okay. What techniques did you apply to the students?
Well, I try to incorporate a lot of techniques such as conversations, dialogues. I like the difference between conversations and dialogues is that a dialogue is more like more planned, but a conversation is like when I say, okay, you got like 2 minutes to talk to your classmate. So it's just talking about whatever we're studying. I also have some readings, of course, some listenings too, and of course we cannot forget about writing. But most of the times, I consider that we cannot just be conversational, just talking, or we cannot just ask them to write a whole entire afternoon. So it's a little bit of the 4 skills.
Okay. What skill do you focus most on?
As I mentioned before, for me, it is really important to put all the skills. I know that the most difficult one is listening, so that's why I really try to do it easy and nice and not so shocking for them. But I know that one is kind of hard, so I try to make a nice environment for them to listen, and I try to do it that's all frustrating.
Excellent. Did you apply any specific technique or method to improve pronunciation among the students?
Well, in my personal opinion, I I have to improve my pronunciation first before teaching to my students, because the most important source of pronunciation is the teacher. So if I pronounce wrong, they will pronounce one as well. So for me, it's really important to take time just to review whatever we're gonna see in the class before. Because of course we don't know everything in the world. So sometimes there are some new words or words hard to pronounce. So it's better or it's good. My advice is that we have to take care of our pronunciation first before teaching people.
Excellent. Do you plan everything you will do in the class?
Not really, because always things happen differently in every single class, even though it will be the same level and it will be the same plan, because kids are different. So sometimes we plan something, but almost never we teach exactly the same class to the same groups, even though they are the same level. So I plan, of course, but I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I have to act according to the group necessities or needs.
What's the most important aspect of the plan?
The most important aspect, I consider that the most important thing when you plan is to realize where you are, where you're gonna teach, because it is not the same teaching in high school like this one, that we are in countryside and we may have a lot of poor people or kids that have to work outside, and it is not the same as maybe planning for a high school that is maybe in San Jose downtown, where they have some other needs, some other even some other how to say way of living. So for me, the most important thing is that you have to know the context where you're gonna teach.
Okay, excellent. What type of activities do the students prefer?
Well, since I am kinesthetic, I love all the movements and activities. I really enjoy them with the students. So I love to make them stand up and move their bodies and switch them up. And I love those kind of activities where they can, express themselves through their bodies. So I love like hot potato and running fast or getting into groups fast. These kind of activities, I love them. I just love it. I really enjoy them with the students.
Nice. How do you handle time?
Well, I assign just specific time for every single activity. So I usually say, like, kids, you got 10 minutes for these and more, and they know. Students get used to the way we teach, so they know that if I said 10 minutes, it's 10 minutes. And what I do with people that cannot finish on time, what I usually do is just ask them to take their time and finish. When they finish, they can let me know, and we can jump to something else. If the rest of the people finished, I just jumped, and I let the students need some more time, like behind, but they know that there's no problem at all to finish later. So that's the way I handle time.
It's time a problem for you at the time of teaching.
Definitely yes. I wish we could have more time in the class, in every single lesson, and more times in a week. I wish to see my students maybe 3 times a week, and I just have them once.
What type of material do you normally use?
I usually have board, marker, laptop, speakers, and textbook. Yeah, And you know what? I use their cell phones. I let them use their cell phones as translators, so I got no problem with that. Of course, I just rather plan that they can use cell phones in my class as a tool.
Yes. What approach do you implement?
Well, as I mentioned in the beginning, I have to use in academic action oriented. In conversational, I'm gonna use limited approach. However, I use either one. It depends how the needs of the
What recommendation could you give me since I'm an English teaching student?
Well, I can tell you that based on my experience, you have to treat the student as they deserve, with a lot of respect, because the student feels when the teacher respect him or her. So, in my opinion, that's the clue. You gotta respect every single person that is in front of you, even though you are the teacher. It is good to respect them.
What do you think is the most difficult aspect of learning teaching?
The most difficult aspect for me is to have that balance between being a friend and being the teacher, because it is really really important to create a good atmosphere in the class, but they have to know that you are the teacher, that you cannot be one more friend. So for me, that's to find a balance between friendship and the relationship between teacher and student. That's for me the most difficult thing. But once that you know how to get it, it will be great, because they will feel comfortable with you and they will know that you are not one of their peers.
Okay, Mary, it was a pleasure to make this interview with you, and thank you very much for your support.
Thank you, Varo. I really hope you can be a great teacher.